Hello and welcome to the Stock Planner channel. In this video, I'd like to go over some of my closed trades, both winning and losing, with the hopes that it will help new traders understand how to enter and exit a swing trade. Please remember to do your own due diligence, make your own trades. Never follow somebody on the internet giving advice or financial advice. Your analysis is probably better than theirs. Let's get started. In order to have a winning trading system, you need to have a basket full of stocks. Good stocks that you know trade well with your chosen strategy. You should have a strategy that you've tested and back tested and understand the win rate. I've chosen the RSI strategy and the MACD strategy to help me with my signals for entry in my swing trading. And then once you're in a trade, you should have a good risk management system. A good risk-reward ratio should be at least better than 1-to-1. In this case, when I win more than I lose. So a 60%, a 50% win rate system will still be a profitable system. Well, let's say you have all this, and you got some signals, and you went and executed the trade. What are the results? I have a tracker spreadsheet written in Google Sheets. It's very simple. When I execute a trade, I put the purchase price in there, figure the stop losses and targets based on that 2%, 5% rule. And when I close them out, I'll see what the profit is. And during the trade, while the trade is going on, I decide whether I've hit my profit targets, and it'll show over here, or if the trade is still going in the direction that I say it's supposed to go. In other words, whatever indicator I'm using to give a direction, and that's still good, I might choose to stay in even though my profit has been hit. Likewise, if I missed a stop loss, failed to put it in, or was a day late, or whatever reason, I might choose to stay in the trade if the trade is in the direction, the indicators indicating the direction that I'm in. In other words, a long, and this should be a long. And that's just, even though it's losing about $11. So I'll stay in it for a while. Direction's good, maybe to get there. Anyway, I would like to cover some of these trades here that are closed, not the open, but closed trades, with the hopes that it will help you better learn how to enter and exit swing trading trades. From this sheet, I filter the open trades so that I have a list, and I have when I should take some action. These are all ones that got away from me, but I decided to stay in the trade because the direction is good. And the closed trades. These are the closed trades that I did from March 22nd on. And you can see there's some winners. There's a big loser. And I would like to cover a couple of these. The first one is AI. It's a new IPO. And you can see it initially went up, and now it's had a long, hard downward ride since February. Did it hit the bottom? Let me zoom in here a minute. According to this sheet here, it says I entered it on the 31st. This is the first here, and the 31st would be there. And probably was at the end of the day when I run my program. And my program sometimes senses and adds an artificial bar for the next day. So we wait 2 bars after the zig, and it was sensing that the zig was going to change. The RSI has been below and then went above. And so at the end of the day, I probably took this trade at 65.66. Profit target was 68.94, 69, which would just be under just a little bit. The next day, it did go up. In fact, it went beyond that, and I closed it out for 70.34. Only took 15 shares for a small account, but I probably took a little longer, a little larger amount, and a small account would have made $71. That is really good. 1 day in. The next stock I'd like to talk about is Carpenter Technology, headquartered in Philadelphia, but based in Reading, Pennsylvania. The zig is up. The stochastics cleared 20, and that's what I took this on. On the 29th, which would have been right here, 39.49, somewhere there, and closed it out at 40.84. 25 shares, $34 profit, 3 days. Well, probably could have made more, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to pick the tops. I don't know how to pick the bottoms. The only thing I could have done is if the zigzag was still going in the same direction, I could have chose to stay in the trade and ride it a little longer. The next trade I'd like to do is lending tree. But before I do, I just want to say that you could go ahead and trade any indicator that you chose, and then later go back and see the results of that indicator and how it did. And then later on, you can actually do more filters on this spreadsheet to get which indicator gave you the best results and the most profit. But this is the actual trading. This is, a lot of people feel that backtesting is done, the best backtesting is done on the actual trades, not just data. And by the way, you don't have to use the indicators that I'm using. I'm not advocating any of this. I'm just advocating that you select some simple indicators, learn them, and then learn how to trade with them. That's what I'm advocating. All right, let's get on the lending tree. Looks like we took a long on the 26th in here somewhere at 204.85. The target price was 215. Let me zoom in here a minute. This was the 26th, 204.85. Target price of 215, somewhere in here. Could have made more and got out at, well, it did make more. Apparently, I didn't set my stop loss right away. 219, somewhere in here. I always set my stop loss one day later, and sometimes it gets beyond that. 72 bucks. RSI, zigzag, 2 bars. That's the entry reason. That's the stochastics. Nothing on the MACD. Anyway, I think this is still going. And if I recall correctly, I've got lending tree has came up as another buy for today, but for Monday. So it's still going. Let's choose a loser next. Ultra Networks. This is a security company. Entered a long trade on March 9th, somewhere wrong here. Entered it, was based on the RSI, came across from the below the 30, crossing. At this time, this purple line would have been there. At this time, you would have had a zigzag, and in anticipation of zigzag, but then you had that red candle, which turned this thing to go down. But I didn't know that when I made the trade here. It looked like it was going up, and that the zigzag was about to change. So this became a loser the next day. But I didn't exit to the 29th, right here. Repeating myself, you had the MACD, we had the stochastics RSI, and the RSI all pointing up. This looked good. Immediately went down, got out around, and had a big loser. The next stock is Katos. We entered it on the 9th, right about here. Zigzag is going up, so it's probably a long trade. Here is the RSI crossover from the below the 30 above it, and likewise below the 20 and above it for the stochastics. Oh, there's an MACD. All three says go. Well, that's what we want to see, I think. That's great. Entered a trade here, exited here, profit here. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, exited here or here, but definitely here. But then, and so this is a perfectly executed trade, a perfectly profitable trade, but not executed perfectly. Boeing, I used to work for that company in the information services in Washington, D.C. We had an RSI long on the 29th. That'll be about right here. Let's see what happened there. The stochastics went up, and so did the RSI. Stochastic RSI. This is stochastic RSI. I didn't say that right. Zigzag, 2 bars. Should wait 2 bars, but it looks like I did. Sometimes I jump the gun. A couple days later, you have the MACD. It says go up, and the zigzag, it just seems like it went up. No, it had a little turbulence here, and I chose not to get out. I didn't get out till the 24th, 22nd, around here. Things were going down, and I got out at 247.90, 248, somewhere there. Nice big win. Yay, team. But I'm going to have in the course of a month, I'll have 2 losers like that as well. Let's see if we can find another big loser and then a winner at the end of the day. Kinsale Capital, 3-2 there. Zigzag probably was going up. MACD, 1 bar back, 1 bar back. Anyway, I decided to take it. When I get an RSI, it's usually good for 3 days. 179.58, 179.60, 179, somewhere in here. Target price of 188, 189, but it dropped like a rock. And I held it. And on Friday decided to get out, cut my losses. Thursday, $88 loss. Let's find one winner to leave this on a positive note. Entered the trade on 328, somewhere in here. What did I see? RSIs, both RSIs going up. A day later, MACD switched, zigzag up. Target price of 315, somewhere in here. Not too far on this line. Exited trade. This should be 4-1. Typo. 338, somewhere in here somewhere. Nice profit. And sometimes when the zigzag is going in my direction, I let it run a little bit. But when you don't set your stop losses, they slide on by. So as a trader, you must decide if you're going to set your stop losses right away. I don't do it the first day or two. I like to let the trade ride a little bit, and sometimes you get stopped out too early. But after 1, 2, or 3 days, if it's not going in your direction, you should execute your manual stop, or you can put an automatic stop in there with your broker. There's lots of controversy on that because some people feel that once you set your stop with the broker can see it and then kind of stop you out, that kind of thing. Manipulate the trade to stop you out. Anyway, I just don't set them until a day or two later, and then this happens. Well, I hope going over some of my trades helped, especially if you're a new trader. Nothing's perfect. You're never going to find the perfect entry, the perfect exit. You just got to do it. That's all for now. Please like and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the flip.